In this video we are going to talk about 8 weirdest creatures that actually exist. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. What are some of the strangest animals on the face of the planet? Everyone has seen a sci-fi or horror film that contains some bizarre beastie, and they all enjoyed it. In any case, some of those computer-generated curiosities can't compete with some of the species on this list, whether it's because they appear to be hybrids of unrelated animals, or because they appear indestructible or unlikely. Number 8. Megamouth Shark. The Megamouth shark gets its name from its tub-like mouth, which makes it one of the strangest aquatic creatures. With its tub-sized mouth, Megachasma pelagios appears frightening, but it's a peaceful plankton feeder similar to basking and whale sharks. It's an elusive species that lives deep in the warmer waters of all the world's oceans, having only been discovered in 1976. It is not a champion swimmer, has a soft body, and appears to use minimal energy to keep moving, unlike other sharks. The top is brown, dark blue or gray, with a white belly. It also has unusually large lips. The megamouth's mouth can be more than 4 feet wide, with up to 50 rows of small teeth in the upper jaw and 75 rows in the lower jaw. The shark can grow to be 18 feet long and weigh more than 2 tons. It has a least concern conservation rating, but experts aren't sure how many megamouth sharks there are. Number 7. Pangolins. Pangolins are one of the strangest animals on the planet, yet they're also one of the most trafficked mammals. This animal, which has been in the news recently due to its potential role as a vector for COVID-19, has its own armor. The pangolin, also known as the scaly anteater, has scales comprised of keratin, the same material that makes up other animals' hair, fur, claws, and fingernails. It is the only animal known to have these scales, which has drawn both positive and negative attention to it. The majority of the 6 pangolin species are now endangered, severely endangered, or vulnerable due to poaching and habitat degradation. Even if the animal defends itself by curling up in a ball and displaying its sharp-edged scales when threatened, this is accurate. Pangolins are nocturnal, solitary creatures that only eat termites and ants. Zoos such as the Brookfield Zoo, the Taipei Zoo, and the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute in Front Royal, Virginia have some, despite the fact that they are difficult to keep in captivity. Number 6. Hairy frog. The hairy frog is one of the strangest amphibians, with males putting on a hairy display during breeding season. Hair and fur are typically found on mammals and insects, but they are rarely observed on amphibians and reptiles. One exception is the hairy frog, commonly known as the wolverine or nightmare frog. During the breeding season, the males of these frogs, which grow to be approximately 4 to 5 inches long, develop what appear to be hairs on their sides and thighs. They're called dermal papillae and have arteries that allow the frog to absorb more oxygen. They function similarly to a frog's gills when it is a tadpole. Because he is the one that guards the eggs after the female deposits them in the water, the male frog will require the extra oxygen. Another peculiar feature of this frog is that it, like wolverine, possesses retractable claws. The claws are comprised of bone, and the frog can only evert them by breaking the bones in its own toe and letting the claw rip through its skin. Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, Gabon, and Equatorial Guinea are among the countries where this frog may be found. The frog is killed and eaten, despite the fact that it is not endangered. Number 5. Tsetse Flies. The tsetse fly, which is found in tropical Africa, is the carrier of sleeping sickness. This isn't the strange part, many insects are disease carriers. This fly is unique in that the larva develops in the mother's uterus and is fed milk by the mother. Mammals are thought to have these reproductive techniques. The female tsetse fly only allows one of her eggs to be fertilized at a time, and the baby is raised in her uterus through the larval stages. Even though the larva is still in her uterus, the mother feeds it a chemical that resembles milk while it develops. When the tsetse fly reaches the 3rd larval stage, the mother gives birth to the larva. The larva crawls into the ground, transforms into a pupa, and survives for roughly a month on the nutrients provided by its mother. Number 4. Platypus. One of the strangest animals on the planet, the platypus, prunes its thick coat to create air bubbles that act as insulation in the chilly rivers where they seek. The platypus is well known, but it doesn't make it any less weird. The more people understand about this creature, the stranger it becomes. Of course, the platypus has a duck-like bill, otter-like webbed paws, hagfish-like eyes, and a beaver-like tail. It's a mammal that produces eggs, and the male's hind feet are covered in poison spines. It hunts for prey using electrical signals picked up by receptors on its bill, and its fur glows under black light. In female platypuses, only the left ovary is active. When Europeans first saw the platypus, they thought it was a fake like the Fijian mermaid. The San Diego Zoo is America's only zoo with a platypus exhibit. In Australia, the Taronga Zoo and the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary are among the others. Number 3. Blobfish. The blobfish, one of the strangest organisms discovered in water, lacks the swim bladder found in most fish species. This pinkish-white fish has the visage of a grumpy old man, making it one of the world's ugliest species. It can be found in the deep waters around New Zealand and Australia, and is also known as the fat head. From a depth of 3,900 feet, one blobfish was collected. To be truthful, the blobfish does not resemble the image that has become so famous. It experiences such damage when it is dragged out from the depths of the water too rapidly that it collapses into a blob. The majority of blobfish caught so far are roughly a foot long and weigh around 4 pounds. It's either an ambush predator or simply eats whatever food gets close enough. Number 2. Sponge. Deep-water sponges can survive for more than 200 years. Because they are made up of unspecialized cells, they are one of the strangest animals. The sponge is a type of marine invertebrate that resembles a plant but is not one. Indeed, the sponge does not resemble a plant as much as an extraterrestrial life. This animal's digestive system is made up of unspecialized cells interspersed with channels and holes. It is devoid of a brain and nervous system. It is devoid of a circulatory system. It doesn't have any internal organs. It is only alive because the ocean currents provide it with food and oxygen while also removing waste. The sponge was probably around 750 million years ago when it became the first animal to separate itself from the common ancestor shared by all animals. Spongiology is the study of these animals, and sponge life is extremely intricate. Number 1. Tardigrade. The tardigrade, the strangest creature on the planet, is also one of the hardest and can resist the harshest of environments. This minuscule organism, also known as the water bear, animalcule, and moss piglet, is practically indestructible. It's also all over the place. It can be found in the Antarctic, bodies of water, jungles, mud volcanoes, and deserts. It has even survived exposure to the vacuum of space. It can survive temperatures as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit and as high as 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It can withstand amounts of radiation and pressure that would kill a human. If necessary, the tardigrade can go without food and water for 30 years or more, as well as a decade of dehydration. It feeds one-celled plant material and invertebrates smaller than itself, and is a little, chubby, segmented beastie with 8 legs and clawed feet. You can count on the water bear to stay there till the universe's heat death. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.